Hi everybody, this is Elizabeth with the Newnan Carnegie Library, and today on Crafting with Elizabeth we are going to be making a wall hanging. So all I used for this was craft paint to paint my canvas, a canvas that I already had, magazine strips, and just a few other little items. Thank you for joining me, and I hope that you enjoy this craft. Okay, we will be using a canvas that I have pre-painted with some craft paint, a cutout of Georgia that I cut out of cardstock, and one identical to it that I cut out of regular paper, several strips of magazine pages that I picked out of a Georgia magazine so that they would have Georgia related images on them, but you can use anything that you want, just any kind of colorful images. These are cut 1/2 inch thick, but you can cut them 1/4 inch thick also if you'd rather. I used my Cricut cutter that came with the Cricut that I bought, that we bought at the library for our programs. I also have Mod Podge, glue sticks, a pencil, scissors, a marker if I need them, some water if I need it. And those are all of the supplies that you will need for this craft. So the first step I'm going to do is I'm going to take the outline of Georgia that is just on a plain white piece of paper, and I'm going to take each of the strips of the magazine pages that I want to use and lay them on that page and glue them down where I want them, so that the images that I want to show up in my final piece of art will show up where I want them to be. And after I get done doing that, I'm going to trim all of the excess strip around the state of Georgia off with my scissors. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll show you what we have. First thing I did after I painted my canvas with the craft paint was I took the cardstock cutout of the state of Georgia, centered it onto the canvas, and then traced it with pencil so that I would have the spot where I wanted the state to be located, which will be made out of the strips of magazine pages. Once you have all of the strips of the magazine pages laid out the way you want them on the paper cutout of the state of Georgia, so you can see on the back that it's still that paper cutout, but you've got all your magazine strips laid out the way you want them and glued down with your glue stick to give you your shape. So what you'll do next is you will trim off all of the excess magazine page pieces, and I'll show you what that looks like next. All right, so once you've got all of your trimming done, you're going to have a white back and a magazine strip front for your state. And your next step will be to take your glue stick and get a good coat of glue onto the white paper, and you're going to glue this down on the spot that you have traced out with your pencil. I don't know if you can see that very well, but you've traced that out with your stencil that you made out of the cardstock onto your canvas, and you're going to glue this down there. And then the next step after that will be to coat it with Mod Podge so that it will stay in place. And then after that, we're going to let it dry. So I'm going to do the next 2 steps, and then I'll show you what we've got. All right, so once you've got it glued down and Mod Podged, this is what it's going to look like. It's a little bit cloudy right now because the Mod Podge is still wet, but once that dries, it's going to dry clear, and that will keep this from peeling off of your canvas. And this can be hung on the wall as it is. You can outline this, that's what I had the markers out for. If you choose to, you can outline your state or your whatever outline you use. You can do animals, you can do whatever you like. In a color or in black if you want to have that contrast. My George would tell me that this should have been done in red with a black outline because it's Georgia, and that these magazine strips should have come from the UGA catalog. But I wanted a bright spring yellow, so that's what I did, because this is for me. But this is what you'll have, is you'll have an outline done in your magazine strips with all of the pictures that you wanted to have in it, and you can hang that right on your wall. All right, so thank you for joining me for this craft. Please be sure to check our Facebook for upcoming other crafts, other videos, other interesting programs that we have. We're also doing book reviews. Also, you want to check our NewnanCarnegie.com website. We have a resources page there that includes our videos that we're making and a variety of other information that you may find useful. Thank you so much for joining me for this.